Okay, real quick before I do this test, I did make some adjustments on the tap square size and the tap interval count. So it's going to look for a double tap within 1.7 seconds and tap square size of 150 pixels. I can bump that up. All right, I'm playing off the shield. And let me bring up the profiler. Okay, so the profiler is running 67.1 megs right now, doing less than 10% on the CPU. Okay, I'm doing a new game. Okay. Trying to get everything in screen. Alright, so I can move back and forth. It seems to be a little bit more responsive. Alright. Still holding at 66.4. Alright, so just to see it with the black background, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap. From top, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap, double tap. Moving and double tap, moving, double tap, moving, double tap, moving, double tap. There is something with my hold, because if I'm moving and I hold before I have that sword, it actually changes my linear damping. So that's why I move slower until I'm no longer on it. So I can make some changes into that. But tap seems to be really responsive. Now this is with that meter conversion, so let's see. Still doing 63, 64 megs per of memory usage. Not using a whole lot of CPU power at all. Still sub 10s on almost everything. So the two areas that I believe that would have the hardest issue would be, let me get the double sword, would be the area where I have all the skeletons and where the dragon is using the particle effects. So now if I'm moving, kind of hard to keep everything in screen. So let's go up to all of the okay, 64.8 memory. Okay, at 65.7. $67.4, now just dropped down to 63.8. Still using less than 10% of the CPU. Still pushing right around 60 frames per second. I have it in the bottom left. Alright, so let's do that again. I'm at 66.8. I'm walking out. 67.3. 64. 64.6 going back in. This is really, to me, this is the pooling, because I'm not really creating a lot of new entities. They're already there. All I'm just doing is reassigning the code. If I did the pooling for the particle effects correctly, let's load that. Okay. Generated me in the body. Okay, so this is the issue that I was talking about earlier. I'm now moving a lot faster, and if you notice, all of the Box 2D bodies did not get destroyed like they're supposed to. They're still showing up. They're not active anymore, but they're affecting me. I think it's because it's like too intensive for it to process this faster speed that is having me run. So I'm going to go back. The memory is not really changing, but now, even though I did a new game, now I'm pushing at FPS 25. My CPU is still sub 10. Memory's at 63.7, 63.9, 64. So let's go to the particle effects. I think this is a setting issue. I don't think that this is so much of a... It's almost like stuff is running double time. If I try to do the warping, it's basically impossible. It's just... Jesus. That's the issue. So, if you've seen that, it just moved me. Still, CPU is going slow. Okay, so... Now if I quit it... Okay, let's see if it... So each time I go into a different room, it's generating. That's what I think each thing is right there. All right, so I'm going to rerun it now, going into the particle effects. We'll get to see that. In the game. Still. So it's only when it's reloading like that bug does it end up bumping some of the FPS down, but the memory usage still looks the same. It has to be something that I did. I don't know if it's from the meter conversion. I haven't tracked it down yet. Or if it's one of the systems. The respawn system, it looks like it's double tapping sometimes and generating twice as many entities and not destroying when they're supposed to. But because I have that running through my collision system, which is using my collision listener for Box 2D. So if it's running too fast and not hitting all those collisions, it may not be destroying those bodies. Okay. I would say on this build though, even though there's that issue, the priority steering I think is, oh, that was a hang up. I think it's much smoother. So Dungeon is having me run at 145.9. I'm going to have to look at that after we get to the particle effect. Alright. There we go. It's operating a little funny right now. It's saying my CPU usage is 24 and I'm at 145 megs. Alright, so I'm almost to the dungeon. Still at 60 frames per second. I'm 47 megs. Alright. Dungeon. Dragon populates. I got my walls populated. I'm going to the edge. There's the particle effects firing. Okay. I am very consistent at the same with the particle effect, so it's not really increasing the size. The pooling is operational for those particle effects. Memory is staying 23, 24, 25. Okay. I'm ending it. So I closed everything. Let's go back, see if that capped up. So there is a jump when we go into the dungeon, at least when we're playing, where it is jumping in memory. There are items that I am generating only once that aren't getting generated again. But those are still using pooling, so I may end up having to try to see if there's anything else that may be affecting that. But there's that. It does stay fairly consistent after it does the jump, though it's not going up. So after it does jump up in the memory, it stays consistent. Okay. Thanks.